Hey guys, Cursu3 here after a longer break from my commentating. We are here for the Season 1 Feeling Racing League Mexican Grand Prix. I think we have about 4 rounds left, no, 5 rounds left, counting in this one, till the end of this championship. So this is the crunch time. Let's not bottle it. So I'll see you in the pit garage for qualifying. And we're here in the pit garage, putting on the setup for qualifying and the race, of course, with Park Ferme rules. Today we're on the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix. One of my favorite tracks on this game. It's a very nice, simple, and a very mixed up track with a few of 90-degree corners in Sector 1, the S's in Sector 2, and of course the famous stadium section, the ex-baseball stadium, transformed into a track, and a few 100,000 Mexican fans cheering us on in these circumstances. The championship fight is getting tight as we are in the lead. Just have to finish the races in the highest position possible, and hopefully we win this one, as it's going to be going, as hopefully it will go to the last race, to keep up the emotions, keep up the suspense till the last round. Of course I would rather win it earlier, but for the sake of the viewers, it would be nice if it went right to the hammer, right? That's how you say it. And we start our first lap in qualifying around the Mexican Grand Prix circuit. Like I said, one of my favorite tracks. The strategy here is an interesting one, as I think most of us are going to opt for the two stop soft medium, as it is a pretty lengthy race, 36 laps. Of course the track is one of the shortest, but that tires the tires get used a little bit more throughout this Grand Prix, so the tire wear is pretty high. And yeah, so it's a two stop. I don't Even though there is a chance if you qualify on mediums to do a one stop, I don't think it's more beneficial to do a one stop. The hard tires are pretty bad around this track, so I think it will be easier to just do it on a two stop. You can really catch up and gain back time on the soft and mediums as we come out of the stadium section to finish our first lap at 15.4, and it's a Williams 1-2 as of the moment, and we move on to the end of qualifying. We're going to leave for a second lap, and hopefully it's the lap that's going to put us in pole position for this race, and I think it will be our 7th or 8th pole position of this season, as my teammate exits right ahead of me. Will we work in tandem, and will he give me the toe? I don't think so, and I don't think I want the toe, because that might lose me time in the corners, especially in Sector 2, where the dirty air can really destroy your lap. As the quick S's, you need the perfect air, the clean air, for your car to stick into the ground and help you put the best lap time possible. As we start our lap, going into turn 1, nice and tight on the apex, jump the curb and stay within the tracks. Not really, but like I said, regular track limits make it good for us, and we're about a 10th up, making it a first purple sector. No one's gone quicker than that, and again, nice and tight through there. Just keep it towards the apex, use as much track as possible, of course within the limits, and head into the S's, the important part of the track. And we are through the first two, the third one and the fourth, cutting it slightly but we are around 2.5, 3.5 tenths up, nearly 4 tenths up by this point, heading into the stadium. Important 2 turns to not overshoot it, as there's an Alfa Romeo just cutting through, and right into the wall he goes. I think he was trying to take one of us out. He failed as my teammate bails into the pits, and 4 tenths up, 1:14.9. 4 tenths up as we skip towards the end of qualifying, and we have the Alpha Tauri going to the pits, and yes, that is the end of qualifying as everyone's finished. Yeah, and we're on pole by nearly 7 tenths of a second. What a lap time from us. I really squeezed the most out of the car possible. It was one of my best laps around this track. Thankfully, the Alfa Romeo didn't crash into me, as I think he was trying to take me out, because it was my championship rival. Thankfully, he missed, and we move on to the grid for the race. And we're here on the grid for the Mexican Grand Prix, putting the setup on again because we had a small issue with the lobby, as there was some kind of glitch, so we had to restart, but that's not much, just the tires get one more extra lap of life, which doesn't change the strategy at all. We're still doing a 2-stop soft medium like you saw on the screen. Let's see how many safety cars we're going to get, because knowing league races there is going to be a few, so that might change up the laps we do the pit stops on, but I don't think it will change the strategy too much. If we get an early safety car, I might switch onto a soft medium strategy. But right now we are lining up on our grid slot in first place. This might not be the best place to be, as it is a very long run to turn 1 and a lot can happen. You can go even 4 wide on this straight, but we'll see. If we get a good getaway, we might be lucky. But now we go into the lights as people load in, and we have 1 light, 2 lights, 3, 4, and 5. And away we go. There we held for a little longer, but we move on straight to the inside to not have any unwanted guests there. And we manage to get away in first, and no other person is going to attack us. And we managed to cause 2 people going side by side, I think. Yeah, the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri are going to fight soon, hopefully. I think the plan was to keep the Mercedes behind, because he's not the quickest drivers here, but the AlphaTauri already goes past and overtakes him as they fight a little bit. He's already a second behind, so that's good. Hopefully we can extend this gap. As we're here, we're half a second only. He really gained back on the next 2 laps, as we're going towards lap 4 right now out of the stadium section. We have the first retiree of the afternoon, and what's going to happen is a virtual safety car. So that's the first safety car we're going to have. Not a full one, thankfully, so not much strategy play. Of course, we're past the pit lane at that moment as well, so that doesn't change our race too much. Hopefully we don't do a mistake from Hungary and speed and get a drive-through, because that would be a nightmare as we get onto the restarts, trying not to speed too much. And we go, and it's green. The AlphaTauri is going to be really close on the run to turn 1, but what's happening? He's lost out, and there's yellow flags. I think he half spun on the restart. His tires were too cold, and he lost it on the exit of the final corner. And we're saved now as we have the Mercedes behind again. He's going to back out the rest of the lads. We might just easily get away from the pack behind and control this race. Hopefully they will fight as much as possible. They're going to give me more time, more breathing space, and I hope that's going to happen, because in the championship fight it would be very useful to win a race. As we skip on to lap 10, and like I said, I just extended the gap 6.2 seconds. The Mercedes is gone, But now it's my teammate, and he is holding up my championship rival in third. And we're going to bail into the pits. Let's see. Hit those brakes. And we sped into the pit lane by 4 kilometers an hour. So unfortunate. But it's a 5-second penalty. We were 6.2 ahead of the guys. So we might get lucky. And that penalty might not affect us as much. We might get a safety car to maybe lower that penalty. We're going to have to serve that penalty on track, as I put on the soft compound. So I still need to use the medium. So we set on to catching up and setting the best lap times possible to extend that gap, to have that 5 second safe. And let's see, we're going to go through turn 1, 2 and 3 a little bit too wide as the tires are not warm enough. And we skip onto lap 12, end of lap 12 and onto lap 13 as my teammate comes into the pits. We set the fastest lap and we are going to be first. My teammate also sped, so it's just a Williams thing, I guess. But yeah, so the closest car behind is the Haas, 12 seconds behind. Let's see where my teammate comes out. They might get an undercut on him. Let's see if that happens. As he comes out, no, he comes out in second. So yeah, 11.5 second difference. By the time of the second pit stop, 10 laps later, this is how long nothing has happened. I was just driving straight, smashing those lap times in, and as you can see, 18.5 seconds the gap on our second pit stop. Let's not speed this time and not put more pressure onto us. But this gap is pretty safe with everyone doing the 2-stop. The guys on the softs will come in around lap 22, 23, so about now. The guys on the mediums will go a little bit longer, as the guys of course have to wait 5 seconds, change the tires onto the medium compound, and away we go from our pit box. As my teammate overtakes me, of course, not much I can do about that. Of course he has to pit again, so we're out in P4 because of that 5 second penalty. We would be around the Alpha Tauri in second right now if not for that 5 second, but still not awful, as we're going to approach the Mercedes, get the DRS off him. He goes into the pits, like I said, the soft runners, lap 22, lap 23, and we go for another lap. We have 30 laps to go. 5.8 seconds to the Alpha Tauri and my teammate. Let's see, they're really close to each other. They will be losing time in the corners as my teammate is carrying him on the straights. As you can see, lap 24, the gap is down by almost a second as they start fighting into turn 1 as my teammate goes for a move. Let's see, they lose time being side by side, and the gap falls by around a second in just one corner. That is big news for us, as we might just overtake him before their second pit stop. And they're still fighting, still losing time to me. As you can see, there is a lapped car in the middle, but they are ghosted, so there won't be in the way. But it's already 2.1 seconds. They lost 2 seconds in a sector. We just need to keep up this pace, and we might be able to overtake them both by the time they get to their second pit stop without them even jumping into the pits. Let's see, as my teammate has dropped back slightly from the Alpha Tauri. Maybe he was holding him back a lot, as we have another Alpha Tauri right ahead of us, struggling in this race, being lapped. And he's giving us DRS, so I should be thankful about that. And like I said, 2 seconds to my teammates, who is still trying to challenge the Alpha Tauri. They're really close to each other. And my teammate goes for the move, and that will lose him even more time. 1.5 seconds, 1.1, just a second now. But my teammate is AI controlled, so that was the AI fighting back. And now, are we going to go for that move? I don't know what to do. I don't want to smash into him because it's an AI car. He's not controlling the car, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just gonna go for a dive here. Thankfully, he does not turn in, because that could end up in disaster. but we continue on. That's our first legitimate overtake of the afternoon. Literally nothing happened throughout this race. This is my first overtake this afternoon. Like, and it was against an AI as well, so I don't think I can even count that. We controlled stint 2 and we are approaching the Alpha Tauri. I don't know if he's going to come into the pits now or is it going to be next lap, but I think he's losing time. I think, yeah, he's in the pits, so we overtake him now and go into first place. And now our job is just to control the race, control the pace, and that's exactly what we do. Lap 36, heading into the stadium section. The confetti is out, and we have 16.6 seconds. I think after Japan, this was my most controlled win. However, the most boring, as you I think noticed, there was only one virtual safety car and that's it. No incidents, no major incidents involving the real safety car. So that was a really boring race, pretty much a light to flag victory. I mean, of course, because of the pit stops, I lost a few positions, but then got them back. Really boring. I'm expecting something more from this track, as the long straights allow for overtaking, but my pace was just superior today, and I think also the concentration. I managed to stay awake the whole race, not do anything stupid, don't spin out, just controlled my own pace. It was really good, and we're going to get confirmation here. Even with the 5-second penalty, we managed to get it done and deliver a 17.2 second difference. That is mad. That's a big difference, especially in the league race and especially against the AlphaTauri, who's a really quick driver. So I'm just really happy I could show this pace. Of course, he has better time, but that's because of his soft pit stop. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week for the Imola Grand Prix. So, see ya!